This is Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. You're fanging and banging and watching the Nation's Network. That's right. Want some, get some, bad enough, take some. Again, you're fanging and banging and you're watching the Nation Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Vince McSham with you here. And it's time for a little No Mercy reskin here. This is the WWF Challenge 64. Featuring some amazing talent in the WWF from roughly 1986 through 92. Definitely the golden years. We're going to feature Summerslam in this one, so matches from Summerslam history and maybe some that could have been. Got J-Rocks in the house along with DHW. Corey Andrews joining us. Hello, everybody. If you're out there in the crowd just watching us, by all means, drop a comment. Let us know you're here. This is a free game if you're not familiar with it. All right, we're going to open it up with the newest member of the roster. Actually, I think we're going to go and create a match that will feature both newest members of the roster. Let's get to SummerSlam here. Oop, there it is. This is from the Meadowlands as opposed to the Garden. 10-minute time limits work for me, for most matches anyway. Countouts. This thing's temperamental. There we go. 10 count. Pins, yes. Submission, yes. TKO is no. Rope break is no. Otherwise, the match will last forever. DQ is yes. Bloodshed, yes. Interference. I'm going to say no only because it goes over the top. It'll be a non-title match for this one. All right, the newest member of the roster from Harlem, New York, 6'2", weighing 271 pounds, Bad News Brown. Yeah, Corey, you are here for the beginning, buddy. Why is it not moving? Did it freeze? I think the game locked up or some shit. Hello. Well, that's peculiar. We'll take this opportunity to do a brief commercial break. We'll be right back. By the way, you're going to want to see this one.
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
You gonna be an uncle?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that makes me so happy.
I talk to you about something, Mom. Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
You need to push it too hard.
I'm fine, kid. Seriously, I'm just sick.
I'm scared, man. It all out of control.
That's a terrible accident.
I should have stopped him. I need to think about my family.
Your job is to wrestle. Live up to that deal, or we are through. I told you to look out for him!
I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me.
Bonner will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
Excitement of the World Wrestling Federation
All right, we're going to try this again. Hopefully it was a one-off. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I only found out about that movie like a day ago, and I'm psyched. I do have the question, though, why is it that when anyone's doing a movie based on wrestling from the 80s, they can't find somebody that looks at least remotely close to Ric Flair? In the trailer, you have to do a freeze frame because there's only a couple of quick frames of the Ric Flair. But between Young Rock and this, I don't know, you could have picked guys that look less like Ric Flair. Now, maybe this guy sounds like him and has all the motions down. We'll have to wait and see. But from an appearance standpoint, yikes, give him a wig or something.
We should see some spectacular moves in this bout. This ought to be some great wrestling with these two because mechanically there may not be...
Yeah, Corey, I'd not even heard about it, so... All right, we're going to try this again. Man, it's doing the gibberish shit again. It's done that once in the past. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I have to assume it saved the rules from previously. Now, let's go this way here. Last time I had that problem, I just ran through it this way, and then by the second match, everything was fine, so we'll wait and see. The Bad News Brown is not on the game release yet, unless you are on their Patreon, which I highly encourage you to join if you're not already there. It's only $5 a month. You get advance access to the new roster members as they come out. That's who I'm looking for right there. Go back. All right. It's working now. So here are the two most recent additions to the roster. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff going up against Bad News Brown. Yeah, but Jay, they could make him look like him. Oh, it's Mr. Wonderful before he was fired. Accompanied to the ring by Bobby the Brain Heenan. That might be the advantage right there over Bad News. It's a party when the clown's around.
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, Shivani, don't you get out of line with me because I wrestled. You're the man responsible for Bobby Heenan getting run off the air. So you stay in line.
This is my first look at Bad News in action. Looks pretty good. I mean, everything they have done with the character models has been really tight. Jay Wiley hit me up last night and says, what, no stream? And I know I haven't been lately a whole lot. Some of you know about my old gaming channel. It still exists. I just don't do anything with it hardly ever. One of the guys from that part of my life reached out and said, hey, man, we're doing something for the Halloween season for Infinity, which is a game that I used to be heavily into before the company went woke. And as you know what, I might have one left in me. So I've been working on the project for the Disney Infinity Halloween thing that's going to happen. When it's done, it'll be about 25-minute long. But my goodness, how much time it's taking to put that all together. It's incredible. Learned a lot of tricks, though, with the editing and DaVinci software. So it's been a worthwhile project for me. It'll help with anything else I do moving forward. Yeah, Jay, I'm with you. The commentary on this game is special. It just even though it's repetitive once you've gone through it one or two times, I don't care. Just hearing the voices, the music, it's the combination of all of it.
Simply because the man can wrestle.
Well, you can wrestle and you can still
Treat the commoners with respect.
I mean, you look at today's games in AEW, I think you get... Do you have any commentary? You don't even have commentary with AEW. You just have the announcer, so you don't even get that. And with 2K, you get the same 2 or 3 guys all the time. With this thing here, it's like I think you even have Lord Alfred Hayes, if I'm not mistaken.
When he makes his way over here, you stand in front of him.
Hopefully he won't get over here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, Corey, that's what I'm saying, too. The repetitive part doesn't even kick in. It doesn't matter, just hearing it.
And I made sure they couldn't. They didn't have tickets. Did you have a ticket, Shivani?
Get bad news bearing down on Mr. Wonderful.
What are you insinuating?
What are you doing here?
Well, I just wanted to sit beside of you. It was okay. Listen to the fans.
Belly to belly suplex by Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, really prepared. Yeah.
Well, I got a feeling this match could go a long, long time.
Well, they're in such great condition, gents.
Kevin Davis joining the team.
Even besides the condition, Tony, it's the egos that
I don't know what a Raw Alley handheld is, but I mean, I guess it's a PC based on what you're saying there. I've just never heard of one.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
For those with big egos.
Yeah, I forget which arena, but Lord Alfred's part of it. He's one of these.
Look at this capacity crowd. Wow. Tremendous arena here. Great to be a part of it.
It really is, Jess. It is a tremendous crowd, and they have been fired up for this match, and they've seen a dandy so far.
I'll tell you the guy. I'll tell you the guy.
Feel like Orndorff should have the upper hand because he's got Bobby the Brain in his corner. We'll see if I'm right.
Have a real hard time maintaining some kind of control with these individuals.
You know, a lot of people don't realize Bad News Brown was a legitimately trained fighter. And he was doing MMA type stuff before UFC was a real thing.
And he's giving a lesson right now in the basics.
Back in, I would say, late 80s, like 89 to 90-ish. It was after his WWE or WWF at that time run. They had a pay-per-view on. And I think it was called Shoot Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. I have it on VHS somewhere.
Well, that's what he's doing. These 2 men.
It was a card that took place in Japan.
You know, and there's times
And essentially it was UFC before there was UFC. You had 2 guys in the ring and you want to box, kickbox, wrestle, whatever it was.
you got 2 tough guys like this.
Just fight it out until there's a winner. And Bad News was actually there, and he fought legit. And I'm pretty sure he won his match, if I'm not mistaken.
Vicious wall. Look at this.
And Jess, you knew it would be like this.
Absolutely. Now with these 2 guys, I can't imagine either one of them.
GBT, there you go. Yeah, he was.
Well, neither can I. So it's going to take a lot of
A
punishment.
judoka? I didn't know that word existed. I learned something else today. I'm on a fire.
You got to give
So much education.
He is prepared. And to be able to take it.
Does anybody remember the name of that pay-per-view? I think it was called Shoot Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken.
Some great wrestling right here. Some classic moves.
We've seen some great moves. You're right, Jeff, so far.
I can't see it.
Now I want to watch it again because I remember it was good stuff.
That may be a mistake.
What would you know?
Matter of fact, not only was it real fighting, but he managed, if I'm not mistaken, he managed to put somebody in a suplex. It might have been belly to back or something like that, but he suplexed somebody legit.
Look at these guys blow to blow against each other. Wow. You know, I'll tell you
D-Train in the house.
that make me glad I'm retired.
Not wasting any moves at all.
Orndorff's a monster.
Anything can happen here.
I'll tell you, this is some hectic pace going on in here. This match could well end up with
Headbutt, down you go.
to keep up this kind of pace in the ring.
D-Train, if you have not seen this, it is all kinds of cool. WWF Superstar Challenge 64. It's free for your PC. Pile driver by Orndorff. That's got to be it.
This guy. Get him down on the mat and teach him a little wrestling.
It's not bad enough you're about to get pinned, but you got to have his dick in your face.
It's going to take a little bit of luck to get the job done.
Judd, what's up? Running clothesline by Mr. Wonderful.
Beat any other team on a given Sunday. Right. The same holds true in the wrestling ring.
I didn't think Bad News was a bad wrestler. I mean, I didn't watch a ton of his matches, but then again, I wasn't in the ring with him. Watching it might be a little different than actually having to get some stiffies.
Both men, you got to give them credit, Jesse. Both men are giving it their all here. Let's not discount the abilities. He's as tough as they come, Jeff.
Absolutely, especially in a match of this caliber where it's more fighting than wrestling.
Both of these guys are ripe for the picking. Which one's going to do it? Orndorff going for a version of the camel clutch. Oh, and he's been busted open, too. Calling for that pile driver. Can he put it on him? Fireman carry. Nicely done by Mr. Wonderful. Going to go for the pile driver. That's going to be it. Teabag him.
No matter what happens in this wrestling, it
For
all
the win.
the basics, Tony.
Would you like 2 CDs? 2 CDs, nuts in your mouth. Yep, it is an emulator from No Mercy, and like I said, it is a free one for your PC. Matter of fact, I think if you download it now, they've added Orndorff to the roster. But bad news as of the moment, I believe you still have to be a member of the Patreon for that. All right, Mr. Wonderful gets a win in the opening matchup of the evening as we celebrate SummerSlam. Not that that was ever a SummerSlam match, but got to see the new guys. We're going to do another singles match. Let me see. I forgot who some of my champions might be. That's what I needed. Boom. The Intercontinental title on the line is Mr. Perfect to defend against Bret the Hitman Hart. GBT, I have not heard that story until now. If that's true, that is great. Imagine him having to walk to the hotel or something like that. I'm surprised I never heard him tell his story. This is a pretty robust roster here. Don't freeze up again. Son of a bitch. You bastard! All right. We'll be back in a minute. Son of a bitch. Attention wrestling fans, if you're having a great time here on the Nation Network, then we encourage you to go visit Dre 41 right after this program. Dre 41 with some of the greatest hockey action you've ever seen, featuring games from Japan that you won't see in the United States. Whether it's professional wrestling, boxing, or just an overall good time, get spicy with Dre 41. All right, let's try it again. See, at least the match rules are all showing up properly, so maybe it'll work this time. Place your bets, place your bets. Who's going to win and take the Intercontinental Championship here tonight at SummerSlam? So D-Train, they do have a WCW version. God damn, it's going to freeze again. It could be the model. It's hard to tell. When it does that, I don't know.
It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts, you give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.
All right, so here's the thing. I can't select a different version of him, I don't think, in a title match, but we'll see. Yeah, it'll automatically just choose that one version of him if you're using him in the title match. We're going to try it one more time, though, just for shits and giggles. And I guess I can send them an error report and let them know what's going on with it. Let me try a different Bret Hart just for fun. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not. I feel like I had done a match with perfect for the Intercontinental title in the past. Maybe if I skip the entrance. Yeah, skipping the entrance seemed to help. Oh, never mind. There he goes. All right, finally we got our match. Where was I? NWA. They have a WCW game that has a lot of NWA roster in it. They've actually got a couple. As for ECW, I do believe somebody made one. My only thing is, for this game, it doesn't work for me. When it comes to these emulators, they don't have an ECW vibe to them. They have this type of vibe, the WCW and NWA type of thing. The WCCW is amazing. Look at this, Heenan coming around with that steel chair. We're going to get disqualified? Well, we might have got disqualified if he'd have hit him. Juan Cordero, what's happening, my man? Wrestling Adventures of Scotty T. Ritz in the house. Glad to have you with us. Tito Santana is not currently in the game, but they've already acknowledged that they're going to be making him. I think he'll be the next one up. I don't know that for a fact, just a hunch. As far as the roster, I don't know the exact number of wrestlers. I guess I can count them after this one up. I'm going to guess about 30 right now. Could be 40.
Simply because the man can wrestle, Tony.
Yeah, this is a great game. It really is. I mean, first you're going with No Mercy, which is widely regarded as one of the all-time greatest wrestling titles of all time. And then you've got the golden age of wrestling, and these guys did an amazing freaking job with the artwork.
I think you maybe needed a physical from me before the matchup. I could take his heartbeat.
Between the wrestling gear, the faces, the hair, I mean, the rings, the arena, details in the arena. If you haven't seen it, I interviewed the creators of the game, and it's up there on our channel. You can locate that. It's under the Wrestle Chat. And the detail they put into, like Madison Square Garden had some banners they were looking at back in the 80s, and they couldn't figure out what the banners were. They reached out to someone at Madison Square Garden for clarification, and they responded and told them what the banner was so that they could replicate it and put it in game.
Listen to the fans. They are standing and cheering. They are really prepared.
I got a feeling this match could go a long, long time.
Anthony 1, welcome aboard, and I agree. Legion of Doom is needed. I have no doubt the Legion of Doom is going to end up in this game. And again, if you want to get your hands on these guys right away when they start to come out, you have to be on the Patreon. Otherwise, there's roughly about a 3-week wait. I don't know if they have a set time period that it's exclusive, but it seems like it was about 3 weeks, and then Orndorff was available.
Look at this capacity crowd. Wow. Tremendous arena here. Great to be a part of it.
It really is, Jess. It is a tremendous crowd, and they have been fired up for this match.
I agree with what Jay said. Scoop slam by the Hitman. Challenger trying to dethrone the Intercontinental Champion. Haven't seen Bobby the Brain Heenan in a couple of moments. Maybe he ran by with that steel chair and got intercepted by Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Executed well, you're right. And now,
I'm always right, Shabani. Don't ever doubt me.
Wrestle Sense,
most of the time. No,
Always.
well,
a.k.a. Blaze.
I'm not going to argue with you. Look here.
You know, it seems the
How you doing?
is laying back and just letting them go at it.
Well, that's what he's doing. These two men.
You know, there's times that maybe a referee should do that, Tony.
Well, you like that one.
No, I'm just
Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds. We've got
let the match go on.
WrestleSense, the man of 1,000 channels,
That's exactly what we
call
have.
names,
Two tough
media accounts.
Right. And the vicious wall, look at this.
And Jess, you knew it would be like this.
Absolutely.
Blaze, how many different accounts do you have?
Imagine either one of them saying, well, I've had enough.
It's probably only 3 or so, but it seems like he's got a million of them.
It's going to take a lot of
Nice drop down by Perfect, back out front, drop toe hold, takes down the Hitman.
right now.
Got to know this is going to be a wrestling classic between these two guys.
And to be able to take an early advantage on this man is really
Cool, I didn't actually play with him. I've been simming these matches, but it was cool seeing him, and he looks great.
Some classic moves.
We've seen some great moves, you're right, Jeff, so far.
I can't see it staying that way for too long.
And that may be a mistake.
What would you know, Shabani? How often did you
Yeah, Blaze does that, man. He's like a chameleon. Or James Bond, maybe more accurately, trying to...
What a battle. Oh, they're really going at it.
look at these guys blow to blow against each other? Wow. You know, I'll tell you, Tony, it's shots like that that make me glad I'm retired.
Headbutt by the Hitman, down goes the champion, and oh, I thought we were going to go for that sharpshooter right there.
Any moves at all. Everything right on target. Anything can happen here.
I'll tell you, this is some hectic pace going on in here. This match could well end up whichever has the most endurance to keep up this kind of pace in the ring.
You got Blaze Radio, you got Wrestle Sense. I thought there was more than that, though. Salute.
Well, needs to out-wrestle this guy. Get him down on the mat and teach him.
Champion looking a little bit out. Russian leg sweep takes him down, and Perfect in trouble. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the roll-up. I would have totally marked out if he rolled him up off of that.
Well, you know, like they say, Tony, in the NFL, any team can beat any other team on a given Sunday. Right. The same holds true in the wrestling ring. Did we see some moves and counter moves in that last exchange, Tony?
Boy, this is a high-impact matchup we have. A physical encounter from the opening bell. Both men, you got to
flying drop kick, down goes the Hitman.
Let's not discount the abilities. He's as tough as they come, Jeff.
Absolutely, especially in a match of this caliber.
The excellence of execution targeting the arm of the champion, and nervous look on the face of Bobby the Brain Heenan ringside.
Not only that, he's a very capable wrestler. He knows the hold. There's a lot of side.
There's the Irish whip once again to the ropes. The Hitman cross body takes him down.
Than that, he has become a complete wrestler.
He better be a complete wrestler.
And I would agree.
You can toke and sip at the same time.
Take something away from it. He may learn something here.
And no matter what happens in this wrestling, it always comes back to basics, Tony. Whoever can execute the basics the best, 9 times out of 10 wins it. And 9 times out of 10.
Again, the opportunity was right there.
Exactly. You're right.
Giving a good account of himself.
There's no question about that. Win or lose this match is making a great showing.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Tony. Win, lose, or draw, whoever wins this thing, I'm going to interview the winner.
Back body dropping, down he goes. And now the championship starting perhaps to slip through the fingers of Mr. Perfect.
Let me ask the people, do we have time to let Jesse do anything he wants to do on this telecast? I guess we do.
Big backhand knife edge chop to the chest, drops the Hitman.
Now why don't they applaud? Some great wrestling moves right there.
You ever thought maybe the wrestling fan today has been...
Hitman sent to the ropes. Nice hip toss right there by the champion.
Maybe.
And it is great wrestling, Jesse. You're right. They should applaud it because...
Back body drop takes him all the way up and down.
So far, Jesse.
I've yet to see him break a rule yet.
Well, just hang on here. Things will start going his way.
Oh, right.
If you are new to this game, stick around. We're going to go down the roster here real quick in just a moment.
Who do you think this helps?
Well, who really knows? You know, both are going to feel each other out a little bit. And like I said, it's going to depend on whether it's wrestling or whether it's brawling.
Perfect. Struggling to get back up. Oh, he baited him in. But he's clearly injured.
He's one of these kind of wrestlers that gets inspired by the fans. He's a guy that definitely reacts.
Bret Hart comes off the ropes, nothing.
Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good.
Oh, look at Bret Hart working the arm.
That kind of mistake, listening to what the crowd's
He tapped him out.
Could have been a mistake.
That is a mistake.
What happened? The referee didn't say anything about it.
Doing this evening, Tony.
He tapped out. What happened?
Joey Morella better go for some type of control.
The fans are loving this one here.
Oh, there's some chicanery taking place in this one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind telling you.
Taunting now, and that's really easy to do when you got the advantage.
Exactly, Tony. I don't always agree with
Referee must have been on the backside. Didn't see it happen.
a rarity.
How about that?
And the tide of this match has changed drastically now.
And now the Hitman targeting the leg, and we know what he's setting up for.
Taking a beating. He's really flustered.
Yeah, no matter what game I'm playing, referees are really screwing people out of matches.
Tap, he does it.
Lured him into a false sense.
I wonder if it's that same bitch from the other game.
Told you this guy can fight.
He's showing it right here.
Boy, look at Perfect hanging onto that arm.
See, now they've got into wrestling here, Tony.
It could be Danny Davis. You might be right.
Yeah, that looked like a wrestling hold or two on the outside right now.
No,
Danny Davis, of course, with a long, rich history with the Hart Foundation. Monkey flip, nicely done. And now again going after the arm. He tapped again. I wonder if in the settings I turned off submission. I think that's what the problem is. There's no submissions in this one. That's got to be what it is. Which is going to render the sharpshooter worthless. Oh, through the ropes and out to the floor. Now it really breaks down. Bobby the Brain Heenan trying to put his hands on the Hitman. Better watch out. Jim the Anvil right there. And another 2 count. Bret Hart going to have to come up with something.
That's called using your head. Well, I can't believe Morella didn't see that.
You like that?
I love it. He's playing with his head.
Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Big drop kick. And now Mr. Perfect. Will it be the perfect flex? He's going to go for it. He got it. Couldn't hold the shoulders down. Well, at this point, I would say the advantage goes to the Intercontinental Champion. He's got a finishing maneuver that will generally result in a 3 count. Bret the Hitman Hart's finishing maneuver generally results in a submission, but there are no submissions going on here tonight. Irish whip once again to the ropes, and he catches himself. Smart move by Perfect. Big kick to the side of the head, and Heenan is ringside right there by the Hitman. He's got to be aware of that.
Well, that instinct certainly has led to many victories.
Splits the uprights. It is NFL football season.
But that, of course, still remains to be seen how much punishment he can take. Well, there's your instinct, Jess, coming through right there.
There's the Irish whip reversal by the Hitman. Hip toss off the ropes.
I should have said that. Good thing I was calling him an animal also, which is not the case at all.
Can the Hitman put him away right now? Gonna go for the pile driver.
You like that?
He's thinking about it anyway.
It looks like some of it's missing.
Oh, good night. And the teabag for the win. And the new Intercontinental Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart, getting the job done here at SummerSlam. Mr. Perfect did away with the submissions, and Bret the Hitman Hart came up with a B plan and got the job done. Look at the replay right there, just dropping Perfect right on the top of his head. You're not going to get up from that one. Little oral satisfaction at the end as a bit of a parting gift, you might say. Stick around, more to come. We're going to run down the roster in just a moment.
Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blazed Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed Wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you.
It's not WrestleFest on the arcade. It's not WrestleMania on the NES. It's not No Mercy on the N64. It's just a gunshot away from those fine retro games on Project 64. Retextured, remodeled, right on your home PC. I'm aboard! But watch your step! It's the all-new WWF Legends Challenge 64!
It locked up on me again. Never had to do it this many times. All right. Let's take a quick look here at the roster for those that are new to this. And let me see. Submission. Yeah, that's why I had it off. 10 count was off the wrong way as well. Most of the times it'll save these things, but once in a while, yeah, this happens. No rope breaks. DQ is on. Oh, that's why Heenan didn't get DQ'd either. Bloodshed is on. Interference, we're saying no. It gets a little chaotic with the interference, and it lasts too long. But it does show that we have a brand new Intercontinental Champion, ladies and gentlemen, then Bret the Hitman Hart. All right, taking a look at the roster, and keep in mind each one of these individuals comes with a number of different attires. I mean, how clever is this? The bandage ribs from King Kong Bundy. I always liked the white attire for Hogan, especially with that tan he had. I mean, it really popped the colors. I was also a fan of this outfit. The Hulk Machine. There's that classic 80s Hulkamania t-shirt. And remember, if you select one of these, that they're going to actually wrestle in that gear. It's not like just for entrance purposes. This is another one of my all-time favorites right here, the American Made. Mega Powers. Hulk Rules. Got a short hair thing there with the bandana. Yeah, they don't miss a trick with that. We got Andre the Giant. Got the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The Ultimate Warrior. Jake the Snake Roberts. Axe and Smash of Demolition. The Hot Scott Rowdy Roddy Piper. The now former Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Perfect. And in that picture there, he looks like he's not happy about that. That's one of the other things you get with Patreon. They'll come up with alternates for these little logos on the bottom row there. They've got for the Ultimate Warrior, I know for a fact. And I know I've seen at least one or two other ones. So you can download those and plug them in instead if you want to change up your bar to look a little bit different. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. The Ravishing One, Rick Rude. The Big Boss Man. Honky Tonk Man. Undertaker. How about The Undertaker? Tuesday night. What a freaking night it was for NXT. That was a show. They put on a freaking show that night. Kicked the crap out of AEW. Anvil Jim Neidhart. We saw Bret Hart, of course. Earthquake. It's only a matter of time. Typhoon will be coming. He's not there yet, but I guarantee you he's coming. What I'm hoping is that when they do Tito Santana, that they come up with another attire for Rick Martel for the Strike Force. Because right now, we have a lot of model Rick Martel, including, I wonder if Jake has his bag match for the blindfold match, which was terrible, but I love the fact that it's there. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of detail that if WWE made this game, they wouldn't have put that in. D. White, Ray's in the house. What's up? The model in the early stages of the model. And they got his different hairstyles. Like this right here. What would be great with this is if they would do another one. They need to make 2 more of Rick Martel. They need a Strike Force. We'll make it 3. Strike Force with the T-shirt. Strike Force without the T-shirt. And Rick Martel from his AWA look. Short hair, dark blue tights. The British Bulldog, and there's a whole bunch of different attires for the Bulldog. They do not have Dynamite, at least not as of yet. I would not be surprised if they add him later. Bam Bam Bigelow. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. And again, there are a number of different attires for the Rockers that originally you could only get on Patreon. Now I believe if you download the game, it's included. And if it's not, then join Patreon and you get it there. Marty Jannetty. Again, look at these. The faces and everything. It's just so good. It's amazing. King Haku. The Warlord. The Barbarian. The Mac and Dream Baby. That's the road. Got a lot of different polka dots. And then you have a little bit more of an NWA traditional Dusty. And they even got the flabby boobs down right. It's just friggin' amazing. JYD, because every dog needs a bone to chew on. King Kong Bundy. Man, that holds a 9-second victory over SD Jones. Only took him 23 seconds to do it. Big John Studd. Hercules Hernandez. Paul Roma, I understand, will be eventually coming out as well. Gotta have power and glory. Again, Mr. Wonderful, one of the newest members of the roster. Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Crush. And they don't have Kona Crush, which I was a little surprised about that. Would be nice to see if they could add that in. Zeus. Say hello to the bad guy. Bad News Brown is the newest member of the roster. IRS. I wonder if they have a Mike Rotundo in this. Or is it all IRS? Yeah, pretty much all IRS. Okay. Got Virgil. Black and white pinstripe. And last but not least, the Outlaw, Ron Bass. Well, actually, that's not the last. So here's where they got the jobbers, and these are just guys that they kind of put together. Might have been somewhat inspired. Like, this reminds me a little bit of a Johnny Rods. Oop, let's go back a minute. Hold on. Johnny Rods is who I kind of look at or see when I look at that. Honestly, I don't know who that would remind me of. Looks a little like Fit Finley. And that could just be any generic Mr. X. And this, for me, is Frankie Williams. Frankie was the Mulkeys before there were Mulkeys. He was like the ultimate Saturday morning job guy throughout the very early 80s. He was the guy on one of the very early Piper's pits. And Piper was trying to make fun of him, and the guy with his Italian accent, you know, I may be a lousy wrestler, but I'm still in the ring. I'm not going to run from no one. You got no time for no one. That's all good. Anyway, that's who that looks like to me. Bobby the Brain, got a bunch of him. Jimmy Hart, bunch of his. Miss Elizabeth, sadly only the one attire for her. I'd like to see them add a couple more. Mr. Fuji. Sensational Sherry, no wrestling gear. That's something. What happened to her hair? I'm sure if I were to like reload the game, it'd probably be fine. I've seen her in the past where it was okay, so. Got Dr. Style Slick, Paul Bearer, Kim Chi. Look at the shadowing on that, too. Yeah, it looks good. I love you, Brother Love. And that, of course, brings us back to the beginning. So there is your roster. So, Citron, to answer your question, they're not all available right now. But I think if you download the latest version of the game, I think Paul Orndorff will be on it. Bad News Allen won't be on it unless you are in the Patreon group. So by all means, get in on that. If you go to our interview that I did with them on Wrestle Chat, in the description, there is a link to the Patreon. J-Rocks, I'll tell you what, it's a pain in the ass. At least it was for me. But Jay Wiley, he knows his way around this shit. As many times as he's talked me through it, I'm a little better now than I was. A part of me thinks about deleting the game and reinstalling it now with the newer one because they've worked out some of these bugs, and like these crashes I've been having maybe won't happen if I upload the most recent version. But you know how much luck I've had, right? I figure I'm going to delete this thing that does work. It doesn't work perfect, but it works. And then I'll never get the new one working, and then I'll be out of everything. I'm just a little gun shy right now. So I'm sticking with this one for now, but eventually I may turn around and just upload the most recent ones because it seems like the crashing issues have been addressed. I'll tell you, D-Train, we could sit here for hours and go down the list of names that are not in this game that should be in this game. And I am sure that if these guys had that much free time, it would already be happening. It is a timely procedure to add members to the roster. And obviously, this is not their full-time job, so you got to balance family and, you know, regular jobs and look at the world we're in today, so... I think if we were averaging one every 4 to 6 weeks, we're probably doing pretty good. Already, we're doing better than AEW. Yeah, so there's a separate file for Paul Orndorff if you're in the Patreon, correct, which is how I got him. But if you download the most recent version of the game, my understanding is they already added him to it, so you don't have to do that. You would have to do that for Bad News. We're going to go 15 minutes on a tag team match. Try to keep the tag team help down to 5 seconds. If they do that with run-ins, then I would use run-ins more often. Awful Elite Wrestling. Yeah, it sure is, man. I'm sorry. I just can't. Oh, do we want to make it for the titles? No, that's not what we're doing here. I'll tell you, here's what we're going to do. Stick around, and we'll come back to the main event in just a moment.
Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
We haven't talked about race. This was a white lash.
A Fox 10 News alert out of Phoenix, where Republican Carrie Lake has filed an election-related lawsuit.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine.
Today we witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
All right, it is the return of the very first ever SummerSlam main event. Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, and Hulk Hogan go up against the Macho King Randy Savage and Zeus. The Patreon's a lot of different things. I mean, there's information on it constantly, still photographs of work that's in progress so you can see what's coming up soon. But that is definitely an exclusive for new wrestlers that are being added to the roster, so you will get them, on average, I would say 3 weeks early. Between 2 and 3 weeks before they drop to the public. Oh, that's right. It was Andre DiBiase. What am I thinking? Oh, well. I'm confusing that with the... what was that damn movie? Of course, that took place in a cage. Yeah, close enough. That's it. Damn, Hogan slammed easy. No holds barred, thank you. I just couldn't get it back in my head for nothing. They had the big pay-per-view after a while where it was no holds barred, the match and the movie.
Okay, Jesse, the body bent roll, but I would think just right now the butterflies are starting to mount.
Absolutely. Every man has to have tremendous amount of confidence, but as I said before, there'll be only one winner. Confidence isn't going to win it for you.
Anything can happen here.
Hold it down.
All right.
Yeah, I think I still have that pay-per-view. It only aired like one time, I think. Or maybe for just 1 week. I forget what it was, but I still have the actual pay-per-view run of that with the movie and the match.
Regardless if you are from Australia or Great Britain.
Not sure if I transferred it to DVD or not.
Certainly the tactic will have to really get your blood boiling.
And why is that?
Because he is arrogant, because he thinks so little of everyone, Jesse.
Simply because the man can wrestle, Tony.
Well, you can wrestle and you can still.
Was it right after Christmas? I didn't recall that part. I did remember it being somewhere near, I thought it was like Thanksgiving-ish, but yeah, that's probably right, 27th.
Looking our way. I don't think he likes the way you're dressed. I don't think he likes anything about anybody.
I think you maybe needed a physical from me before the matchup. I can take his heartbeat, you know, Tony.
Get your hands off my chest, please. When he makes his way over here, you
Zeus! Taking on both members of the Mega Maniacs. Hogan drops Zeus with a shoulder block, and Zeus comes firing back. You know, D-Train, sometimes when things that are really bad happen, you just can't get them out of your head. And this was really bad.
Listen to the fans. They are standing and cheering. Well, they are really prepared. Yeah.
Well, I got a feeling this match could go a long, long time.
Well, they're in such great condition, Jess, that it's going to have to take a long time.
And even besides the condition, Tony, it's the egos involved. I mean, how will each man be able to look himself in the
Hogan firing back with a big right hand on the Macho Man. Former tag team partner.
Well, you got to have a big ego to be a top wrestler. Look at this capacity crowd. Wow. Tremendous arena here. Great to be a part of it.
It really is.
Starting a WWF Universe mode, what, in this game? I'm already running one now in the 2K23. Damn, D-Train, that is a double feature that's hard to turn down. That wasn't just the last movie you saw in a drive-in. That was the last time they ever put a movie in a drive-in because it was so bad they shut them all down to make sure it couldn't happen again. I have never been a Leslie Nielsen fan. I just don't like him. I don't find him funny at all.
Be a little bit lenient. Let the match go on. When you got two tough guys like this, they got to settle it.
That's exactly what we have.
1989. Good Lord. Look how old we are.
Jess, you knew it would be like this.
Absolutely. Now, with these two guys, I can't imagine either one of them saying, well, I've had enough.
Well, neither can I. So it's going to take a lot of punishment to come out with a win in this match. And right now, you got to give him some credit. He is prepared. And to be able to take an early advantage on this.
Yeah, there's some really good creations out there right now for this time period. Corey, I don't mind slapstick humor. I just didn't find him funny. His timing to me didn't work. He was just too deadpan. I just didn't like him. A lot of those other movies that were from that same genre, they were all like Airplane, and that was funny as hell. See, like Robert Hayes, I'll take Robert Hayes over Leslie Nielsen every day. Another guy, if you want to get old school wrestlers on the 2K23, you got to check out Honcho's work. He's got a ton of stuff, and it's all really good. I would say probably 60% of what I'm using is his work. I don't know what it is about Leslie Nielsen. I just don't like him. Starting with his face, I guess, and we'll go from there. I just don't like the guy. I can't think of anything he's ever been in. It's like I watched The Naked Gun only because everybody was talking about it, and I didn't watch it until it was on HBO. And I got through about 30 minutes, and I was just like, yeah, it's same humor as Airplane, but Airplane pulled it off better. He was also in a drama with Barbara Streisand back when she was making movies. And if I'm not mistaken, she was a call girl. And he plays this really creepy John. And I think she ends up killing him because he tries attacking her or something like that. It's as much as I remember. She does kill him because I liked it. That part I liked. But playing the creep, that seemed to fit him pretty well to me.
Wrestling, it always comes back to basics, Tony. Whoever can execute the basics the best. 9 times
No, you can never go wrong with the 80s, man.
9 times out of 10, a great wrestler will beat a muscle man.
Exactly. You're right.
Giving a good account of himself.
There's no question about that. Win or lose this match is making a great showing.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Tony. Win, lose, or draw, whoever wins this thing, I'm going to interview the winner. When this match is over, I will get an interview with the winner.
All right, Jeff. Do we have time? Let me ask the people. Do we have time to let Jesse do anything he wants to do on this telecast? I guess we do.
Takes a quick look out to the crowd. Now, why don't they applaud? Some great wrestling moves right there.
You ever thought maybe the wrestling fan today has been conditioned not to applaud moves like that?
Maybe.
And it is great wrestling.
Somebody's making the clown laugh.
This has been a classic
Roll reversal.
I've yet to see him break a rule yet.
Oh, man, I thought Brutus was going to come off and take out both of them with a sledgehammer.
All right.
Tag made, and Zeus back in over the top rope. I love the detail. Hogan getting a shot in. Zeus doesn't even acknowledge it.
Like I said, it's going to depend on whether it's
Macho Man taking off the apron.
The fans now clapping.
And you know what? He's one of these kind of wrestlers that gets inspired by the fans. He's a guy that definitely reacts to fanfare. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good.
Now measuring.
He shouldn't be making that kind of mistake listening to what the crowd's saying.
Could have been a mistake.
That is a mistake. And that could prove to be his undoing this evening, Tony.
Both men thinking it
Choke slam.
Joey Morella better go for some type of control.
The fans are loving this one here.
If you didn't catch the interview with these guys, I was talking to them about the audio tracks and the commentary. And when it came to the Tony Schiavone Jesse stuff, a lot of it was from WCW. which I thought was clever as hell because I forgot. Yeah, they were a team on there too. The double team, and Brutus takes the fall to the apron. And now the Macho Man and Brutus going at it. Zeus just keeps on shaking off the punches by Hulk Hogan. No, this game isn't really meant for a universe mode for me. I like just getting in there, doing what we're doing tonight. Just have a little bit of a theme going on and then putting them out there and letting them do what they do. He's got the bear hug on Brutus. I mean, we have universe in the sense that the titles will, like right now, Bret Hart's the Intercontinental Champion, so he'll be the Intercontinental Champion going into the next show. But there's no way to do anything. Like, I'll maybe turn on the run-ins for a match here and there, and then depend who runs in, and depending on who runs in, we might set up a feud that way.
That was classic good wrestling. And look at this. I don't think there's anyone here that really appreciate that move. I appreciated it, so there's one man. Totally legal. Everything legal right there. It's a matter maybe here. Look here. The referee sees nothing. I love it, Tony. I love it. That's called using your head. Well, I can't believe Morella didn't see that.
Honestly, D-Train, I'm not so sure. What I can tell you is I have yet to see Hulk Hogan win a match. I have simmed about 7 Hogan matches, and thus far he ain't won one yet. No, I'm right. In this game, he hasn't won one for me yet. Oh, damn, went for the clothesline, gets taken down. Got to keep an eye on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming close to the time limit.
Right there, Shamani. You got an instinct wrestler going against a thinking wrestler. Well, that instinct certainly has led to many victories. Well, the tide of this match has changed.
Frankie Williams versus Hulk Hogan. Jeez Louise, what did Frankie do to you?
Well, that's, of course, still remains to be seen how much punishment he can take.
There's the tag made. Oh, Hogan with the backbreaker on Zeus. Brutus going to need to come up with that sleeper hold, see if he can put him away with it. We're down to 1 minute remaining on the time limit for this one, ladies and gentlemen. As the barber takes him over.
Maybe it's the fashion of the 90s.
Oh, don't say that.
Maybe we'll see you wearing something like that one day.
I don't think so.
Tag made. Macho King is back into the ring. Double team. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be it.
The only guy I know, Tony, that can throw one in a matter of seconds.
Do you like my costume? Do you like the costume?
If the Macho Man would have gone for the cover.
How'd you like my costume, Tony?
That's only a costume Jesse Ventura could wear, I guess.
Pretty sure they would have had the win off of that.
Tony's growing his beard mustache back. Right during this matchup.
It's now or never.
Oh, the beard mustache are easy. If the ball spot on top of my head, it was difficult.
That haircut makes G.
Reverses the Irish whip. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing settled in this one. $15-minute draw for the main event tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to do that one again. Maybe throw him in the cage. Citron, always start at the beginning. I'll tell you right now, on the network, you go to the classics and you go to the old Madison Square Garden shows that start in the 70s, actually. That's what you want to do. Oh, no, you've got to go way earlier than that, D-Train. Way earlier. I would honestly start with the 78, 79 reign of the Madison Square Garden section there that they have. You'll see some of the Bob Backlund era that kind of ushered in. He was in the 80s, led up to WrestleMania. He had a 5-year championship title run. Tito Santana has an Intercontinental title run that led right up to Mania as well. I'd say if you get in there right around 79, 80, and start right at the beginning, that's going to lead you into WrestleMania, and the rest is history. You'll also see right around 84 the introduction of Brutus the Barber Beefcake when he was just Brutus Beefcake with luscious Johnny V. Macho Man entering the WWF. There was a whole shtick about which manager would manage the Macho Man. That thing ran for a good month and a half. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Go on the network, start watching the old Madison Square Garden shows that they have in that little subsection of classics. Can't go wrong with that. Well, yeah, the Valiant Brothers, as a matter of fact, they were probably still wrestling a little bit back at that time. So depending which show you watch from the Garden or Philadelphia Spectrum, they got a couple of them mixed in there. You may end up seeing a match with the Valiant Brothers because that was about the time they were wrapping up their in-ring career. If you watch a couple of them, let me know. Let me know what you thought of it. It was wrestling back when it was wrestling. And you got to keep in mind, watching it today, it was real as far as we knew. I mean, they sold that shit as if it was real. You never saw heels and baby faces together, ever. Never happened. They protect the building, man. They protected the business, the gimmick, all of that shit. Yeah, they probably have a couple of Maple Leaf Wrestling shows in there, too, from Toronto. They might have the one where they legit broke Andre's sternum. Bundy and Studd. I remember that one well. They showed the matches on USA Network, I believe. And when Andre was being interviewed after the match, you could see his chest was, like, broken. And he was out for a while, and they wrote that in. Yeah, again, if you start right out at the 80s, you're going to end up leading into how they entered the WWF. In the case of Jake, he wasn't around for Mania. He came in later. Not much, though. So that's late. You're talking about 85 there. Billy Red Lions. Jeez Louise, clown. Didn't he wrestle Abraham Lincoln? Were you really here for that? That's why he's the ancient clown. And that's what smoke and reefer will do for you, man. You can live forever. Or I don't know, maybe he's dead. He's just too high to realize it. I'm dead, man? Oh, man, that sucks. Give me another hit. That's all right, man. We all ancient around here. I want to thank you guys for joining me here tonight for some more of this WWF Challenge 64. If you don't have it, go get it. Not too many things in this life, though. You can say the price is right, but free. Don't get no better than free. Sad, but one of the best wrestling games out there is free. The ones you pay for suck. There's no justice in this world. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your night. I got to get back to work on my project here a little bit. If you're interested in ever checking out the other channel, I got the gaming channel. I'm going to be doing a little bit more on there in the near future. So feel free to check that out. You can find it most easily by doing a search for Disney Infinity Under Construction. That'll bring up probably a couple dozen different videos, but that's the channel. The channel is All Night Gaming, but if you tried searching for that, you'll probably find 20 different people calling themselves the same thing. So Disney Infinity Under Construction, and that's kind of where I do my gaming that's not wrestling oriented. I just haven't done anything on there in a long time. This is going to be my return. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Thanks for being here. See you so long from ringside.
Together, we can do anything.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the Iron Claw to you.
So what do you think? Like we're alive.
I love your family, Kevin.
Gonna be an uncle?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that makes me so happy.
Can I talk to you about something, Mom? Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
You're pushing too hard.
I'm fine, kid. Seriously, I'm just sick.
I'm scared, man. It all out of control.
It was a terrible accident.
I should have stopped him. I need to think about my family.
Your job is to wrestle. Live up to that deal, or we are through. I told you to look out for him!
I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me.
The Bonner will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling.